kind of wading through all that, but now we have at least a workable solution. So let me first kind of welcome and introduce myself. If you guys don't know who I am, my name is Craig Grant. I'm the CEO of RETI, which stands for the Real Estate Technology Institute, and I'm a speaker based out of Florida, but I'm usually all over the place every single day teaching builders everything's about technology, marketing, and cybersecurity. So literally, if there's a geeky topic, I cover it. So I always tell my students I'm definitely a geek and a proud geek. But I was also at the same time, not to worry, I love to take non-geeky topics and make them as non-geeky as possible. So we're not going to use any weird, crazy algorithms or formulas that are going to go over your head. We'll explain it the way you guys get it. Because I know most realtors are not techies. Most of you guys don't even like this kind of stuff. So I try to explain it in ways you'll understand it, not just understand, but be able to go home and apply it. That's the whole goal, is getting you to go home and create a whole lot more video, okay? And by the way, especially with a group this small, feel free to ask as many questions as you want. Okay, I'm pretty freestyle. But also, I do share the entire slide deck. So if you just go to that link, reti.us/CEG event, you'll see it's a very basic sign-in form, just your name and email address is all you have to input. And as soon as you do that, right away on the confirmation page, it'll say now to click and download any of my classes. I'll also send you an email. So if you want to download it later, tonight, 2 weeks from now, whatever, you always get an email with the same link. Okay, so yes, you can download everything. We good? Do you have anything?
After all is said and done,
Oh,
I'm the last
my
one.
bad.
I'm late. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well, we were juggling.
We'll forgive you. Oh my gosh. Well, thank you for being here. My name is Pam Croak. I'm the CEO of the Bucks County Association of Realtors. We're thrilled to be live.
Yay.
Again. Woohoo. Yay.
Yep.
And we're very excited that Craig has agreed to do his presentation. He was at our last Education Palooza, very well received. Before we start with his program, I do want to take a moment to thank our sponsor for this session.
I'm sorry. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, Rachel Kirk,
So much mayhem.
RK Abstract and Associates, our title insurance guru, and she's kind enough to sponsor this program today. So thank you very much, Rachel. We really appreciate it. And Craig Grant, as I said, Craig spoke at our last Education Palooza.
Can you guys do that out there, please?
Through that, I know that Siobhan, who is our communications director, has spoken to him many times, especially during the pandemic. And I think he did a couple of Zoom sessions for us that were part of our Education Power Hour series that are still archived. They'll live forever. Evergreen.
That's the beauty of video.
Exactly. But Craig has become our go-to guy for all things technology, and I really thank him for this.
Thank you.
And I'll just give you a little bit of his background. Over 150 speaking engagements around the world each year, including sessions for NAR, state conventions, and other key industry events. He's considered one of the most sought-after technology, marketing, and cybersecurity speakers around. His motto is Advanced Real Estate Technology and Marketing Instructed at a Pre-K level. Well, that's what I need. Totally.
That's what most need.
What I need. And he's able to take extremely complicated concepts and present them in a way that the average person can understand them and retain them. So I'm really thrilled that he's here today. I won't take up any more time. Take it away.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, so we already kind of did the quick little housekeeping. Again, you can download all these slides, ask questions, all that stuff. It's all about the pre-K. Yep, you like it? Okay, and by the way, she mentioned a lot of the gigs I do. If any of you guys are going to NAR in a couple weeks, I'll be speaking there again, I think, for the 7th time. If you go to Triple Play, I'll be there again for, I think, this is my 10th time at Triple Play. So I do speak at a lot of the big events. But again, it's all about making this stuff easy for you guys to understand, okay? So when we talk about video, I've literally had this slide in my deck since 2018. 2018 is the year of video, 2019 is the year of video, and I was getting more correct every single year. I think I finally nailed it in 2022, because we are now in a world that's flat out just dominated by video in every way possible. Show you a couple stats to back this up. Polls have showed 6 out of 10 people now say they'd rather watch a video online than watch their televisions, okay? 72% of consumers would rather learn about a product or service via video than any other way. It's by far the most effective way to communicate and market to people. Okay, we're going to show you stuff to back that up. And when we talk about how do you make sure marketing and communications are working, are people remembering it? What is retained? You do something in just plain words and text, only 10% of the message is remembered by a human being. You do it in a video format, 95% of it is. Okay? Everything about video is all about appealing to today's consumer who has no attention span, wants everything really, really fast. Okay? I show a stat a lot of times in a lot of my classes. Goldfish have 8-second attention spans. Human adults are down to 7. Okay? That's what you're marketing to. It's what you're communicating now is a 7-second attention span. And in 7 seconds, people are not reading. They're watching and sometimes listening. Okay? And you got to realize that and kind of do what your customers want. Also, we are in a world completely dominated by mobile. Okay? Over 58% of all internet traffic comes from mobile devices, and 80% of all video views happen on mobile devices. So it is where mobile dominates, is on video, and mobile video consumption is doubling every single year. Okay, so you would think people want to watch on big screen devices and monitors. No, we're on their go watching videos nonstop. Okay, and in fact, video consumption now makes up 80% of all internet traffic, 80% of it, and that is 15 times higher than it was just 5 years ago. So everything about video is exploding and getting more and more popular every single day, okay? But the big problem with video is 20% of videos are banned in the first 8 seconds. If video is not interesting, catchy, poorly done, whatever, in the first few seconds, 20% of people bail right away, okay? And only 45% of people make it past the first minute. So it's not just, we want you creating video, we want you creating interesting, cool video that people actually want to watch. Which is why you'll see in the session, we're going to have a little Oscar ceremony. We're going to talk about some of the best videos out in the industry. Okay? And again, I just kind of talked about this stat, but we're talking about a 7-second attention span for human beings now. That's what you're trying to work with, and video is by far the best way to reach them. So when it comes to where your video should be marketed, where they should be posted to, there's really only 2 major options. Okay? And we're talking about where they're going to be hosted. We're not talking about, of course, you could post them to social media. But if you're going to host a video, they typically go to either YouTube or Vimeo. And honestly, YouTube is a slam dunk 99% of the time. You always want to go to YouTube. We're going to talk a lot about YouTube in a second. Vimeo is kind of the second option, but we're talking it is 5% the size of the audience of YouTube. You're not putting a video on Vimeo to get audience. The only reason you might want to put a video up on Vimeo is with YouTube, you can upload a 4K or an 8K definition video to YouTube, and YouTube will compress the heck out of it so it runs faster on YouTube. It will not look anywhere near as good as it originally did on YouTube as it does on your computer, okay? So that would be one reason. If you're shooting really high def video, you want to keep it pristine, you might put it on Vimeo. And the other thing is, if you really want to secure a video, meaning you don't want anyone else to get their eyes on it, nobody else stealing your video, Vimeo allows you to do complete encryption on your videos. YouTube, you can make it private, but if somebody gets their hands on that link, they can steal your video in 2 seconds. Okay, so nothing is really secure or private on YouTube. That'd be the only other situation you'd want to use Vimeo. But there's no doubt, YouTube is by far the biggest video setter on our planet. I mean, it is so much bigger than anyone else, it's ridiculous. It's now the #2 website in the world for traffic, okay? And it's the #2 search engine behind Google as well. Okay, so it's not just a place to go watch videos. People are constantly looking for content in YouTube like crazy. It's a #2 search engine. Okay, and all generations use YouTube in very high numbers, but it has become the de facto TV for the younger generations, millennials and Gen Zs. In fact, a recent survey showed 98% of people under the age of 30 are on YouTube every single day. 98% of them. Way more than TikTok, way more than Instagram and all the other sites they're using. It is where they live. It really is. So you can reach all customers on YouTube, but especially the younger generations, they literally live on there. Okay? So if you don't know how YouTube works, you do not need an account just to jump on YouTube and watch any video you want to watch. But if you want the ability to host your own videos up on YouTube, you do need an account, and then you create something called a channel. And a channel is basically like having a business page up on YouTube. And once you create your channel, I'll show you how to do that in 2 seconds. Anytime you're on any device, in any app, software, whatever that deals with video, I guarantee you anything in the video world has upload to your YouTube channel built right into it. 1 click, it'll be on YouTube 2 seconds later without any geekiness. Everything in the video world ties into YouTube. So once you have your channel, you'll have this free place to upload and host all your videos. Edit them. YouTube does have a pretty good video editor built into it called YouTube Studio for free, okay? And most importantly, promote your videos. Not just on YouTube, on really anywhere else you want to market it as well. So first of all, if you don't know how to create a channel, it just ties into a Gmail or Google account, okay? So if you have a Gmail account, you just go up to your menu and choose YouTube. Then you go to the YouTube account, click on the menu in the top right, and the very first option is your channel. Okay? And if you don't have one, it'll just send you into the fill in the blanks, create your channel. No geekiness, just upload your photo, put in a description, put in your contact info. You can easily create a channel in under a minute just following these steps. Okay, so it's very easy to do, and now you have a place to upload all your videos. And if you're not aware of this, the fact that YouTube hosts all your videos for free is a godsend, because videos are very big files and they're very expensive to host if it wasn't for YouTube. Okay, so the fact you can put as much videos as you want up on YouTube for free is amazing. And when I talk about how you can promote the video, not just on YouTube, but really anywhere, what I mean by that is once a video is up on YouTube, below the video player is always the share button. If you click on that share button, this little screen will pop up. And that allows you to share that video out to all the other major social media sites, email it, get a link, maybe you want to text it to somebody or something like that. So you can now promote that video anywhere else you want it to go to. And then the very first icon in that little screen with the two little brackets, that's called the embed code. If you click on that one, a different little screen will pop up, and it'll give you the exact code you would need to go put that video onto your website or any other website. So you just copy and paste this onto a web page, and then that video is now on, let's say, your own website for free. And if I embed the video from YouTube to my own website or any website, there is no advertising before, during, or after your video. There is no go to her video after your video is over. It's just your video in the video player and nothing else. Okay, so you're not worried about sending someone to a competitor or anything like that if you embed the video. Does that make sense? Yes. Sure. No, of course.
The embed code, that has to be on each video, or that, I mean, you have to manually put that on there, you're saying, or that's there? What am I clicking to make?
So you're clicking on this share button first.
Yeah.
Okay. Then this screen pops up, and if I click on that icon, this next screen will pop up also.
Okay. Will that show also to the viewer?
No.
Okay, it's hidden on there.
Well, it's hidden in the code of a web page. Like you can always look at the code of a web page, like anybody really can, but that doesn't matter. Like it's still built into your website for free, and YouTube knows it's on your site, which also helps it for search engines and everything else.
All right, thank you.
All right. So creating the channel is easy. Uploading a video is really easy. But the whole thing with YouTube is there are billions of videos on YouTube. In fact, billions are uploaded every single day. So how do you make sure your video actually gets noticed? Okay? And that's where it comes into how do you optimize the video itself to get seen. So you got to realize, first of all, this has changed dramatically over the last couple of years. 5 years ago, 100% of a video's traffic came from the content of the video, meaning what the video was about, the keywords, the description. It was all about the content 5 years ago. But Google and YouTube made a major change probably about 2.5, 3 years ago. Okay? Now, the content only makes up 20% of its exposure. So content still matters. Okay? You still want to take the time when you upload your video into your YouTube channel to go and write a good title, make a good description, put in some good keywords, stuff like that, because it still matters to help it get found. But we're going to show you there's something much bigger at play than just the content now. Okay? And by the way, one feature that a lot of people do not know exists in YouTube. So let's say I'm on my YouTube channel, I go in and edit this video to type up the description and everything. One of the buttons over on the left side is subtitles. So if you're speaking it all in your video, you click on the subtitle button, and YouTube will literally scan your entire video and pull out every word you said and type it up into a script. And of course, you can go back and edit it if they messed up any of your words. Okay? And once it does a transcription, let's say in English, you can then click on Add Language and now do it in Spanish, then do it in Portuguese, then do it in Russian, whatever languages you want. Does that make sense? So doing subtitles and captions is a totally free service in YouTube, including in as many languages as you want. So that's a very smart feature to use.
You can click on it too.
Yeah, you're fine.
Can you do English and Spanish, or just?
You can do as many languages as you want.
Click more than one.
So you do it once. You do it once in the language you've spoken, so that way it types everything up for you, and then you can say, now convert it to Spanish.
Okay, but that'll show whoever wants to watch it, either one.
Correct.
They don't have to switch it over.
So the way YouTube works is if they're on YouTube, whatever their language settings is in their Google account, it automatically defaults to that. But it also will show them almost like a little drop down where they can choose other languages.
Gotcha.
Okay? But here's the big change. 70% of a video's traffic now comes from what is called the recommendation engine. And I guarantee you've seen this before and not really realized what it was. You know when you're looking at a video on YouTube, you're kind of in the main part of the page, and over on the right, there's a column with a bunch of other videos in that column. Those are recommended. Also at the end of the video, it'll say, go watch these other 8 videos that fill up your video box. Those are recommended. And YouTube doesn't just pluck videos out of thin air, decide which ones they're recommending. There's some very specific criteria they're using to determine whether they recommend your video or her video. Okay, so these are the big 3 things YouTube really looks at now. And I'm going to go through each one of them individually for you. But it's your click-through rate, your percentage watch, and your watch time. Yes?
Does it make a difference on whether it's a video or a short?
Yes. Well, shorts really are in a totally separate location.
Just for the regular video?
Yes. Yeah, they really don't recommend shorts. That's if you just want to jump into shorts, you watch a bunch of shorts. Okay? But this is, you want to show up in the main YouTube search engine results, get recommended in the side, all that stuff. This is what YouTube's primarily using. So let's go through each one of them. First, you have your click-through rate. And the click-through rate is kind of what it sounds like. When your video shows up in the results, what % of people actually click and go watch your video? So you got to make sure a decent % of people want to watch your video. So we talked about having a good title over in the content area, right? But it's become more important to have a sexy title, not a keyword title. You don't want to just keyword stuff it with really good keywords. You want to kind of make people, oh, you need to watch this video, or give them a hook of why they got to watch it. Okay? Sexy over keyword when it comes to your titles. And YouTube thumbnails, visual image that stand out in the results, have become an absolute necessity. If you don't create a thumbnail, don't expect anybody to click into your video. The whole purpose of the thumbnail is when they're looking in the results, a big impactful image that pops out and makes them want to check out your video. So it shouldn't be loaded with words. It should be a very impactful person making a crazy face or something like a big title that makes people want to click in. But thumbnails are vital. They really are. And if you guys don't know about Canva, okay, Canva, if you're not using Canva, has thousands of YouTube thumbnail templates you can create in seconds.
Can you add a thumbnail afterwards after you've already uploaded the video?
Absolutely.
And would you do that back in the creator?
It's the yes, YouTube Studio. Yep.
Or YouTube Studio, yeah.
Yep. Actually, no, you would just do that in the regular editing screen of the video. So when you're just clicking and editing the title and the description, you have the option to choose or upload a thumbnail there. Okay? And by the way, for all 3 of these things we're going through, the click-through rate, the watch time, and the percentage watch, okay? For each one of them, you have stats you can look at. So let's say I uploaded a thumbnail. I can track and say, okay, did my click-through percentage improve over time? Stuff like that. So there's always stats and metrics you can use to kind of help yourself make better decisions and tweaks. The second, yes, sir?
How do you make your click-through improve?
Well, it's about making sure people click, okay? So having that sexy title, having a powerful thumbnail, having a good description. The point is, if you, let's say you record a video on your phone, you say click upload it to YouTube, you don't take the time to go back and add in that description and the keywords and the custom thumbnail and everything, it'll get a very low percentage, right? So everything you do to improve that would get you a better chance of getting recommended. Okay, yes?
All right, sorry.
Oh, stop saying sorry, guys. Questions are fine.
The title, just to be short, sweet title, don't put the hashtags in the title, put the hashtags
In the description.
in the description, okay.
Yep. All right, second major thing YouTube is looking at is called the percentage watch. And what this is, it is what it kind of sounds like also. What % of people watched your entire video? So there is really no benefit in creating a 25-minute video if everyone's bailing in the first 5 minutes. So either you need to keep your video short and sweet so people watch the entire thing, or you need to do what's called changing your storytelling arc. And what I mean by that is, if you guys are active on YouTube and watch really good YouTubers, the ones that have thousands of followers, I guarantee you within the first 20 seconds of the video, hey guys, thanks for joining me today. This video is going to be about 7 minutes. I'm going to cover these 5 things. Stick around for the end for a big surprise. They're literally hooking you so that way you know 7 minutes and stick around to the end. Make sense?
I like it.
Okay? You can learn a lot by watching these really good YouTubers. You really can. But it's all about, I got to get you to watch all the way, because if YouTube sees a good amount of people are dropping off at a certain point, they will never recommend you. All right, so here again, we can change our storytelling arc. We can make sure the description matches what we're going to talk about. Also, one feature that YouTube has added very recently is adding in chapters. So in other words, you can say at 2 minutes and 42 seconds, I'm going to cover this topic and put a jump point right to that point. Some people don't want to watch your whole video. They want to jump right to that part they want. So doing that kind of stuff, let's just say I put in 5 chapters into my video, it almost creates 5 videos for YouTube from a search engine standpoint. Okay, because I'm putting little jump points to different topics. So these are things you can do. You can also add in end cards, okay? End cards is like you can put it at any part of the video you want. It doesn't have to be really at the end. But if you're talking about something, you can have a little bubble pop up saying, for more information, go to my website, for doing different, whatever it is. But there's a lot of stuff you can do to encourage people to stick around, be more engaged with your videos, stuff like that. Okay? And then the third metric YouTube is really using is called the watch time. And we get to understand this one, think of it as the lifetime value of your average YouTube viewer. So let's just say you've only watched one video ever of mine, right? I get a very low watch time score for you. But let's say you've watched 7 of my videos, you've subscribed to my channel, you come back and watch a bunch of them, I get a much higher score for you, okay? So it's all about getting people to repeat visit and watch more than just one video, which is, again, if you spend time on YouTube and watch some of the great YouTubers, they're annoying, but they're constantly saying, hey, hook me up, guys, subscribe to my channel, click my notification bell so you know next time I post, all that stuff, because they're trying to drive up their watch time score. Make sense? Okay? It really is simple once you understand what YouTube is wanting. All right, and then 10% of the video, its traffic, will come from outside of YouTube. So you do want to repurpose your video as much as you can. Put it on your other social media channels, put it on your website, email it out, whatever you're gonna do, you do wanna have some outside traffic feeding in. But that recommendation engine will be the lion's share of the traffic you're gonna get, so you gotta play that. Question? Okay. All right, any questions on YouTube itself? All right, this is, yes sir, go ahead.
So what's the difference between watch time and percentage watch?
Percentage watch is, did you watch the whole video? Watch time is how many of my videos are you watching? Like your lifetime, how many videos? Does that help? Okay. All right. This is a separate tool called TubeBuddy. This is not made by YouTube. It's made by a third company. But I call it the secret weapon for YouTube. If you really want to take your YouTube game to the next level, you got to get TubeBuddy. So TubeBuddy does have a free version, and then they have a pro version that's a few dollars a month. It's not very expensive. But what it literally is, okay, it is a browser extension. In other words, you kind of add this into your web browser, and then it kind of takes your entire YouTube experience and puts it on steroids. So for example, if I just go to YouTube as a viewer, and I'm not using my channel right now, I just go to any video on YouTube, I can pull up any video on the entire site and see everything about that video. How many exposures it has, what keywords and tags it used. I can learn anything I want. So let's say you're my competitor and you're crushing it. I can figure out everything you're doing just by looking at your videos. Make sense? Okay, I can go to your channel, analyze your channel, what you're doing on your channel to get so much better exposure than me. So it enhances the entire YouTube site, okay? And then it literally, oh, by the way, it also gives you a great dashboard that gives you all kinds of metrics on your own channel, your own videos, and all that kind of stuff, including recommendations, what times a day and days of the week you should be posting to get more exposure, kinds of topics you might want to focus on. So it really helps you run your own channel so much more intelligently, okay? But the big thing about TubeBuddy is it also completely enhances your YouTube channel as well. So for example, I can go into my TubeBuddy account and I can, one of the biggest pains every time you upload a video, you got to figure out, okay, what keywords and tags do I want for every single video? What kind of links and stuff? You can have preloaded defaults so that every video you have automatically has the same hashtags, has the same keywords you want, all that stuff without having to retype them ever again. Okay? You can make default end cards, go to my website, all that kind of stuff. You can create all kinds of very easy to use defaults for all your videos. It also completely enhances YouTube Studio, the editor in YouTube. So YouTube Studio, for free it's not bad, okay, but it is a little bit basic. You add in TubeBuddy, and you get a lot more features and tools. Now you can add in multiple clips. You can do all kinds of audio editing if you add this in. Yes?
Would you recommend it over iMovie?
iMovie is a great video editor, but first of all, it's Apple only. Okay, if you're not an Apple person, you can't use it. And it's totally separate out here. This, you could do it all within YouTube. Okay, but again, the basic free video editor in YouTube isn't bad for free. It's not as good as iMovie. Add this in, and it becomes much more competitive. Yes?
Automatically integrates with the YouTube, with the editing tools.
Everything.
I don't have to go to one, then go to here.
Correct.
Then go here and not have to go back to my YouTube.
Correct. You're doing this all in your YouTube account. It just all of a sudden starts adding in a bunch of features that weren't there before.
Okay, so I can stay on the YouTube channel account.
Yep.
And this, you don't have to go to this one.
Correct.
I mean, okay.
Yep. You would never have to leave YouTube. You do it all in your YouTube account by adding in TubeBuddy. What's that?
This will do it for you?
No. So what this is doing, I had to hide some slides, but just based on our time. Okay. But what this is doing is, if I go into the normal editing screen of a video, let's just say there were only 4 options in the basic free. By adding in YouTube into TubeBuddy, all of a sudden I have 10 more options. Like, it gives me more editing tools. It gives me way more data and stuff I can use for SEO. Oh, here's some keywords you might want to use for this video. It analyzes on the fly. It just does every little feature inside of YouTube. It adds more features to it. Okay. It even gives you kind of enhanced like engagement tools. So if I'm doing a YouTube live, it has things where I can do games and giveaways in the middle of my YouTube lives. Okay, so TubeBuddy, again, that's why I call it the secret weapon for YouTube. By adding this into your account, it just makes your YouTube account so much better. And by the way, one feature that I love is also you can create thumbnails on the fly. So typically YouTube just grabs a couple of screenshots out of your video at random spots. With this, you can pick any split second you want in your video, say create a thumbnail out of that, add some words. You can like literally design a thumbnail in YouTube without having to leave. Okay, so again, TubeBuddy is, to me, kind of that hidden weapon. If you want to really take your video game and your YouTube game to the next level, you look into that. All right, any questions on that? All right, so let's give you some quick tips on creating the video itself. Okay, so first of all, I always say before you ever go create the video, always think for 2 seconds what the finished product's going to be before you go and do it. Because let's just say, for an example, you want to go shoot a video of a property. Are you going to narrate the video while you're there on camera? You're going to go back and narrate it later? Do you need to bring lighting with you, right? If it's kind of a dark property, you got to think about the finished product. That way, you know you're creating what you want properly. Okay, it's harder to edit things out than it is to do it right the first time. Also, always think about, yes?
I have a silly question.
Sure.
Oh, there's my answer. Background noise. Like,
Yep.
I was doing a property on my channel, and the floors were, wooden floors squeak. Remember
Yep.
where you were, like, I would love to embrace that squeaking floor noise. Is that a possibility?
2 options, okay? So first thing, when it comes to background noises, either you need to understand, let's say you're outside, there might be cars honking, dogs barking, whatever, you might want to think about that. But the big thing when it comes to background noise, yes, you can edit it out of the video if you have good video editing software, not the free version of YouTube. You need a good video software to get parts of audio out, okay? But the other aspect is there's a lot of microphones that do noise cancellation. So if you buy the right kinds of microphones, it would not pick up the squeaking. It would just pick up your voice. Does that make sense?
Yep, thank you.
Okay. And the other thing is, again, lighting. If you're going to a vacated property that has poor lighting in it, you might need to bring along some lighting. If you're going to be in a property that has tons of windows and so much glare, you might want to time it so the glare is not affecting your shots, right? But always think about environmental factors. Stabilization. I always say there's a few things the average consumer does not put up with when it comes to video online, okay? One is stabilization, shaky and bouncy. They hate it, okay? Nobody likes that whole Blair Witch style. So you need to think about getting either a tripod if you want to be stationary, a monopod or a selfie stick if you want to walk around. And if you really want to move around, you might want to look into what are tools that are called gimbals, okay? A gimbal, it's G-I-M-B-A-L. Gimbals are handheld stabilizers. You can walk around as much as you want. You can even run in place, and that video will be perfectly steady, no bouncing. Okay, so it allows you to almost kind of be your own moving director if you get a gimbal. But you definitely want to consider stabilization, audio quality, lighting, stuff like that are things that people don't put up with. Also, in the editing process, if you're creating a video, okay, we're not talking about you doing I'm gonna just talk for 5 minutes video, but if you're gonna create an actual marketing video, you need to leverage what are called cuts. A cut basically is changing the whole perspective of the video every few seconds. If you watch any modern video or even your TV tonight, I guarantee you no matter what show you're watching, there'll be a few seconds of one video angle, cut to a different video angle. A few more seconds of that video angle, cut to another one, because the average person's attention span is so short. So you don't want 35 seconds of the kitchen. You want 7 or 8 seconds of the kitchen, cut to the bathrooms. A couple more seconds of the bathrooms, cut to the backyard. Whatever it is. But you do not want long, continuous video unless it's kind of like a webinar or something like that you're hosting. Okay? And then most importantly, okay, we got to be creative. Okay? As we talked about, 20% of videos are banned in the first 8 seconds. Only 45% of people get past the first minute. So you don't want boring video of you just talking to the camera for 20 minutes. That will not work with today's consumer. You got to be creative. So what we're going to do is we're going to show you some different videos in different areas, okay? But it's also backed, and this might give you some good ideas of kinds of videos you might want to create when you go home. But it's also backed up with a lot of data. And what I mean by that is Google and NAR did a great study where they analyzed how consumers do everything. And Google snuck in a whole bunch of questions. Hey, what kinds of real estate videos are consumers watching? So, by the way, before I kind of go into my little list here, are any of you guys doing any kind of video consistently in your business right now? Okay, do you mind sharing what you're doing? Like kinds of videos?
All different types. I do a lot of like Tuesday tips where I'll do a little like real estate
Okay,
tips.
educational, good.
Things about different steps within the buying process. I've been doing my own home renovation. So I've been doing updates on that and things I've learned along the way. And then I also I do a lot of like the TikTok kind of silly
Good.
videos and stuff to engage it and mix it.
Okay, great, good mix. Okay, I think you said you were doing some as well?
At first, I was doing a lot of random things, market updates, or there's this magazine, and I would just make a video of what the daily article said.
Yep.
Housing updates. But recently, I've been focusing on 5 things you need to know before moving to this town.
Cool.
Doing different cities right now.
That is definitely one of the categories we're going to talk about. That's great. Anybody else doing any others?
Yeah, but I also do interviews.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'll interview the fire marshal for police safety, fire police safety, stuff like that. In addition to what she was talking about, basically. And then with the open houses, taking the stores, describing, putting out different things.
Okay.
About the property.
Excellent. Okay, so we're doing a couple different ideas here, which is great. Okay, and there is no one perfect category for everybody. It's all about picking the right ones for you, your customers, and your business model. But again, we're going to show you some different kinds of videos you might want to create with some data to go with it. So 30% of your customers are watching video testimonials before they hire a realtor. So you might want to get a couple of your customers on video saying how amazing you are, how you sold their house in no time, whatever it might be, right? Because it's much more emotional and impactful than a page of written testimonials a lot of people don't read. Now, I'm not saying don't get written testimonials. They're very important for business these days, okay? But you want to get some video ones as well. So our first little award winner here is a guy named Bradley Gale in California. And what you're going to see is all he does is interview 4 different customers. And he kind of takes those 4 interviews and chops it up into an amazing testimonial video.
The sale of our home went
Little loud.
perfectly. We were so amazed at how fast the process was and how easy it was. I can't tell you how easy the sale was. We did nothing. And we sold our house at 20% over asking price in under 2 weeks. It was totally awesome.
We had so many other things going on with our lives, and if we wanted someone that managed the process. So where we get back and right over.
This is the first time we've done something at this professional level with anybody, and we were quite impressed with that, and it was really phenomenal the way you put the package together. It was really quite good.
We interviewed several realtors. Brad came out on top, as I remember, and had a clear idea of how he was going to promote the property, and did so, and there were no arguments about using modern web-based techniques. Embraced those, brought us a large of 19 bids, I think, on this property.
Very good video. very good still photographs, a very good introduction leading up to the sale of the home.
So everything from coordinating staging to the professional pictures to the videos, it all made a really big difference, and that's why we sold our home so quickly and well above our asking price.
Everyone that we have shown the video to, I've been very impressed with Bradley's presentation and the way it flows.
The video was outstanding. I sent it to all my friends. They couldn't believe it. They were floored by it.
Did you read it?
As were we. We didn't even recognize the house. The brochure was outstanding also. It was really came on thick glossy paper, and it had a really nice floor plan with it as well. I mean, it was just very professionally done.
Anytime I had a question, I never felt like I was bothering him. He always responded really quickly, and I think having that person walk you through each step is really nice and very easy for the home seller, so I would definitely recommend that.
Yeah, I would recommend you to any person, any family members or anything like that, absolutely, 100%.
We would make a choice to hire Brad again in a heartbeat.
We expect a lot, and you delivered a lot.
So all that was 4 interviews, but every pain point a seller has, he nailed, right? You're always able to get a hold of, your marketing was amazing, we're first-time sellers, you made it so easy for us. Everything that the sellers...
Professional editor for that.
That was just 4 interviews.
Right, but I mean, when the blueprint, you had the floor plan come up, and it was just timed out well. And
Yes, it's timed out well, but in any there's so much easy-to-use video software these days. I use one called WeVideo. It's so easy, it's ridiculous. WeVideo. Okay, WeVideo has won the best video editing software on Android for 7 straight years. There was no award on Apple because iMovie. But it's one of the only amazing video apps that's also web-based too. So you could use it on a computer, not just on mobile. But WeVideo, that would be so easy to do, those little transitions and stuff like that. Any video software shouldn't be hard. Okay? All right, 25% of consumers use video to decide who they're gonna hire, agent, team, or company. So this might open you up to a commercial about yourself, your team, or your company. So our next little award winner is Chip James, and you're gonna see how he literally puts his life mission into this video.
And showing them houses and watching it become a home for them. But the thing that truly inspires me is my family. My family is the reason why I want to live a life worth imitating. Because real estate and my business are such a big part of my life, it only makes sense that my real estate business is worth imitating as well.
It was on a long plane ride that I decided that I was going to use my real estate career, but to do more.
So I created this initiative.
It's essentially the client sacrificing a closing gift so that I can make a financial contribution instead to nonprofit or charity that will use that money for a greater purpose.
Chip uses his business
10 more minutes.
to be able to touch people's lives.
Can I be respectful?
Our son is born with hemophilia, and he donated to the Southwestern Ohio Hemophilia Foundation. Chip lets you choose something that is close to your heart.
The hope is that we join together to make this financial contribution to an organization that really needs it more than we need a gift. But the really cool part is you never know the impact that it can have on someone's life.
We didn't know anything about real estate real impact until he contacted us about it. He knew that we were a local area family that was adopting, and we have an account set up through Adopt Together.
This is about more than just a job for Chip. You know, it's an opportunity to serve others and to help others, and so we feel really blessed to be one of those families that's helped.
My hope is that someone will hear about real estate real impact from every profession that you could ever think of. And they say, hey, this is what I do to make a living, but I also want to use my skills and my gifts to impact the world around me.
By the way, anyone want a tissue? And remember, when's the last time a customer thanked you for not getting a closing gift? Right? And if you watch the video towards the end, that young couple that was adopting, that's how he found them. Like, he's literally like sourcing his next business by using that same model of just, I'll give your closing gift as a charity. Make sense? 54% use video for information, for educational. You guys are talking about your market updates and your instructional videos. There's a lot of different things you can do in this category. I didn't pull a winner in this one because education is not always exciting. Okay? And by the way, 24% watch instructional videos, step-by-steps how to do real estate. So that can open you up to instructional videos, tutorials, market updates, explainer videos, client communications, video blogging. There's so much you can do under the education type area. Okay? And by the way, one tool not really in the public marketing space, more in the closed marketing area. If you're not aware of BombBomb, I'd highly recommend you might want to look into this one. BombBomb, what they do is they specialize in video, email, and text marketing. So you can't really put a video into an email. Emails will not show the video player. What BombBomb does is it'll take the first few seconds of your video file and make a little animation out of it like this. Okay, so somebody will see the second their video opened that email, they'll see your mouth moving, hi, how's it going? They'll see this video is only 45 seconds, you created it just for them. So it's an awesome tool if you just want to send someone a private, like, hey, here's a communication video I created just for you. Whether it's a follow-up on a lead or just ongoing communication. And so many realtors I know, top realtors in the industry, use BombBomb for everything. They're like, I can quickly create a 35-second video faster so I can type you up an email. I'll just create a video about it instead. Make sense? And again, video is the most effective way to communicate these days. And then 70% of customers are watching videos of properties. But here's kind of my weird question. If every stat I'm showing you is video watching numbers are in record numbers all times, and it's getting bigger and bigger at all times, wouldn't you think that number would have been higher than 70? I personally, when I saw this stat, I was like, really? Only 70% of customers have watched a video of a property? I'd have thought it would be closer to 100 to watch at least one at some point. Any idea why it's only 70% have watched a video of a property? Not too many, it's the opposite. There's too little of them, okay? Posting did a survey. The same year this study from that Google and AR came out, Posting did a study the exact same year, where they asked property owners, do you expect your realtor to provide you a video of your property? 70% said, yeah, of course I expect that. Anyone want to take a guess what % of listings in MLSs had a video on them in 2019 when these studies were done?
10%.
30%.
Much closer, 12. Okay, you got to think if only 12% of listings have a video and 70% of customers are watching videos of properties, those 12% are getting watched in really high numbers. The problem is not enough realtors are creating videos of properties. So you need to step up your game if you're not doing it and start creating videos of your properties or paying your photographer to spend a little bit longer and create the video as well, okay? Because customers are watching them like crazy, just realtors aren't creating enough of them. Make sense?
Can I ask you something?
Of course.
What would you recommend? A walkthrough, like you're actually walking through, or the Matterport style?
Well, first of all, there's so many different styles of videos, tours, walkthroughs, commercials, okay? Not saying you have to jump all the way to Matterport. Matterports are $5,000 cameras, okay? Or you could pay your photographer who might be licensed to Matterport a fee to do that. Matterports are expensive, but data shows properties sell faster at higher price points. I mean, it is worth the investment if you want to put that money out or pay your photographer to do it for you if they are able to do it. But there are so many different styles of, you could do the traditional virtual tour, you could do the walkthrough tour, you can create more of a storytelling commercial out of that property. There's a lot of things you can do. Okay, by the way, those studies were from 2019, meaning pre-pandemic. I guarantee you the number of customers watching videos of properties has gotten a whole lot higher since the pandemic started, right? So very quickly, if you aren't creating video, it's even more important than ever to do so. Now, when it comes to just showing a property to an individual, let's say you have an out-of-town buyer, you could be at that property giving them the walk-around tour, using so many tools these days to do video phone calls. There's tons of them, okay? But let's say you want to promote the video not just to one person, you want to promote the video to a lot of people. Right? That's where live streaming to social media comes in. So all the major social media sites now support live streaming, where you can say, I want to go live right now at the property, okay? And not only do they support it, typically live streaming video gets up to 10 times more exposure for free than uploaded recorded video. So it's in your best interest to live stream. Whether it's a property, whether it's a neighborhood tour, just messing around in the office, whatever, live streaming video does get you more free exposure. But if it's something like a property, You don't want to go live spur of the moment. Because if you go live spur of the moment, you'll catch a very small audience who's on right about that moment, who's also available and kind of bored to go look at that property. For something like a property, if you're smart, you pre-schedule them as an actual event. And then you can promote it like an event and get as many people as you want to come to it. And this is where Facebook and Instagram really have a big advantage. If you're not aware of this, Facebook changed this a little over a year ago. This is only on the Facebook website. It will not work on the Facebook app. If you click on the live button on the Facebook app, you go live right away. You do it on a computer at the Facebook website, it instead sends you to a new page called the Live Producer, where you can say, I don't want to go live right now. I want to schedule an event at a certain date and time. And it literally creates the entire event out of it, where you can invite up to 500 people for free. People can say, I'm interested or I'm going. You could even run an ad campaign if you want more than 500 to know about it. Okay? So for something like a property, definitely create an event out of it. Okay? You want to let people know I'll be live on Saturday at 2 o'clock, not just spur of the moment. 86, by the way, this is the biggest one. Okay? And he mentioned he was doing this, so I said I love hearing it. Okay? 86% of consumers watch videos about communities. What it's like to live in your town, what's the eating scene like, the schools like, top 10 places to do stuff. Anything about your community is huge online. It really, really is. Whether people live here, have moved away, or think about moving here. People want to know about where they live or where they just moved away from. Okay? So you definitely should consider creating community-based video. And if you go to either Google or YouTube and search for your town, probably maybe one or two other people have thought about it. So not only is it in high demand amongst consumers, but it also performs very, very well. It really does.
I did one where I actually took video as driving up to the property.
Yep.
That I was getting ready to do an open house for. That got so many.
Because it was different, right?
Yeah, but they got to see the houses, the street, the neighborhood. That was very popular.
Love it.
Just saying, it was work.
Good. It's all about being different. So our next award winner is Nick and Ann Baldwin about a community tour. This one's not far from here.
Hi, I'm Nick Baldwin.
And I'm Ann Baldwin, and we're with Keller Williams Realty in Montclair, New Jersey.
If you're thinking of making the move to Montclair, then come along with us on our short video tour.
There's so much to do here in Montclair. You have a little flavor of New York, but without the hassle of living in the city.
You want proximity to the city. Montclair really offers that ease of commute back and forth. It's 12 miles literally from Manhattan.
It's a small enough town that you can go from one end to the other and still get to know a lot of your neighbors.
Just an ideal mix.
There's a lot of outdoor activity, and so you can see families coming together.
For a small town feel, it's actually pretty big. It's an art museum.
A lot of cultural activities, lots of nice events.
Montclair Film Festival was really fun this year.
Bands, concerts, all kinds of stuff.
There's a big jazz festival in the park, Micheline Park. Community that wraps itself with sporting activities.
Touchdown, Montclair!
The schools are great.
Phenomenal school system, schools that really are catered to your individual child.
It's a magnet system.
You can really choose the type of curriculum that you want your child to experience.
What's great about the magnet system is people from all parts of town, we kind of get to share that community with them.
There are so many restaurants here. I have a lot of friends that come from far away just to Montclair to eat.
I was surprised to find the number of very successful, highly acclaimed restaurants in Montclair.
The shopping too, especially up on Church Street. And also in Upper Montclair, that's a nice shopping area.
The little bits of retail here and there, it's great. There are a lot of cool spots.
We really want a diverse community, and diverse in every sense of the word.
Coming from the city, they wouldn't lose the diversity that we sought out in the city. Being out here, I just noticed that all the houses are not necessarily the same. There's a lot of character in all of them. I feel like everyone's house is their own house.
The slogan, where the suburbs meet the city, is very apropos for Montclair. This is sort of the junction between the two.
That was just a small taste of what this fantastic town has to offer.
If you have any questions or you'd like a personal tour, please give us a call. We hope to hear from you soon.
So if you're thinking about moving to that town or the town right next to it, would that not sway you? Right?
That's amazing.
Yeah.
What's the most effective way to promote that and get that out to the most people?
YouTube, you run an ad you put it on your social media channels, you run paid ad campaigns promoting even more. I mean, there's a lot you can do to draw. You're hoping you don't have to run paid ads, but
I just have an idea.
yeah,
Because you have other businesses in there and they know they're in the video.
without a doubt, you
and
tag
they
them.
also promote them for town.
Yeah. Anytime you talk about any other person or business, you'd always tag them or go into the comments right away and tag them in the comments. What social media sites do is they literally time the first 5 to 10 minutes of activity. If there's a lot of engagement with the first 5 or 10 minutes, all of a sudden you start getting way more exposure. Okay? Tagging people, getting them to asking them for their opinions or feedback, whatever, is huge. And then social media, okay? And we're going to kind of blast through these because I know we're running low on time. But different kinds of videos perform better on different social media sites. Okay? So anything under a minute, okay, is really for any of the sites. And that's where you can get into challenges and pranks, trending hashtags, home renovations, dancing videos and lip syncings, all that stuff, cute animals. Anything under a minute performs well on any site. Okay? And you can see, by the way, you also have your news feeds and you have your separate story feeds, which are usually shorter clips. Okay? And that just gives you the time links for each site. Again, you can download all the stuff. If you're going to go a little bit longer than a minute, okay, people really don't watch long video in most places. They'll watch it in the YouTube feed and they'll watch it in the Facebook feed. Okay, but longer video will not work on, TikTok. It won't work on some of the other sites. There are only certain places you can go beyond a minute. And if you're going to go really long, okay, more than 8 minutes, again, you're really looking at Facebook and YouTube for long form video, hosting webinars, long educational videos, stuff like that. Okay, and then to help the video get found, again, descriptions matter, hashtags matter, knowing what's trending matters. That's one thing that TikTok does so well, is you could see what are the trending sounds that people are using in their videos and different topics they're using. Okay, but you don't need to create your own trends, jump on existing ones. And then lastly is the whole, don't forget funny sales. Okay, so we can do video roulette. Which one do you guys want to see?
Vanilla ice.
Nice house, baby? Sound good?
That would be plain.
Yeah, VIP.
Last time I checked, Nick had 1.3 million views on this video. And just him and a bunch of his buddies having fun.
Think about real estate daily and nightly. I will never stop, selling homes, holding your funds up in escrow. To the extreme, there's not a home I can't handle. If offer so fast, the open house will get canceled. Damn, pick up his master bedroom.
Oh, he wrote every word. It's pretty good.
Contract, if you sign to sell me, it won't take less than the list price I guarantee.
The best is his friends are such bad dancers.
If you got a property, yo, I'll move it. Take out the loan from a lender.
All right. Well, I know we got a late start, so I don't want to show the whole thing, but funny can work as well. Okay? By the way, that guy screws up so badly at the end of the video. He's horrible. All right. Oops, sorry about that. Oh, didn't mean to pop out of that. Sorry. So, I know we took questions as we went, but anybody have questions on anything? And again, if you missed it earlier or you came in late, that's how you can always download the slides. Okay? Any questions, thoughts, anything?
On that slide, that thing there, when I include those things, because I would love to see the Remax Black one. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's there. If you download it, they're all clickable. Yeah, no, those were all clickable. That's how I got to the slide it's on. Okay, and by the way, if you download the slides, there's more than what we covered today. I had to trim down to fit this time. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, just had a rough start, right?
Thank you so much.
No problem.
We really appreciate it. We appreciate your patience.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, I'll be going again at 1:30 about Google in the cloud. So.
Right, right.
Yep.
Yeah, different topic.
Totally different topic.
Totally different topic.
Yep.
Awesome. Well,